Manchester City 0, Tottenham 2. Tottenham make it 2 wins out of 2 games in the Premier League. Also make it 2 clean sheets out of 2 games in the Premier League, with another win against a Pep Guardiola managed side. Welcome into Top the Perch. I am your host, as always, Nick Burt. Early kickoff for Tottenham today. Was wondering how this team would transition from last week's 3-0 win against what is looking to be a bad Burnley side to a team that could be competing for the title, and that is, of course, Manchester City. After an absolute disaster of a week, and that is putting it in nice terms, Tottenham needed something today. For the club didn't truly need it. They did, but they didn't. It was more the fan base needed it, because it has been one of the worst weeks given transfers, no transfers. You know, the Kulusevski news about him not being back until at least 2026. It was a terrible week. So Tottenham needed to do something today that would make it feel all different. And that's what they did today against City. 2-0 win at the Etihad. And, I mean, this was an absolute Thomas Frank masterclass. Thomas the Frank engine, you know, rolling right down the tracks. First of all, we got to just start here very, early on. The black kit may be one of the greatest kits Tottenham have ever put out. That thing is special. I know the third kit's coming eventually, and it's going to be, I keep wanting to say orange. It's yellow. It's a yellow kit, throwback crest. I love it. The black kit, hands down, my favorite that they have done this year. It is absolutely stunning on the pitch. I kind of figured we were going to wear our home kit today. We usually do against City, so that's why I kind of was thrown off today wearing the black. But hey, it worked out insanely well. First 30 minutes of this game, Tottenham, they dominated this game. I don't even need to say first 30 minutes, first 60. The whole 90, they dominated this game. Yes, they sat back a little in the second half, and it became a little bit more defensive. But it didn't matter. It did not matter at all. This team just looked very special today. And again, you don't truly, going into a match like this, come out expecting hey, we're going to just, roll over this team and dominate to victory. Because City is always difficult, no matter if it's Pochettino, if it's Mourinho, if it's Conte, if it's Stellini, if it's Nuno, Ange, if it's Frank, even if it's, our boy Ryan Mason, who, of course, is no longer with us. I don't mean that as he's dead. He's, of course, at West Brom, hoping that they get promoted this year, because I would love nothing better than Ryan Mason to be a very successful manager. I feel like I've rambled on. Let's truly get into the highlights here. 10th minute, very, very scary moment for Tottenham. Counterattacking opportunity for City that gets it into the box. I mean, I believe it was, I want to say it was Porro, tried to clear it, didn't. It was intercepted. Took a shot from close range, and it just drifted along the goal line, went out of play. Another first dangerous moment, crisis averted type moment today. Vicario made a huge save in the 38th or 28th minute, I should say. kind of breakaway opportunity. Makes a great save, gets it out of play. Danger stop. 35th minute. It's Richarlison driving on the counterattack into the box, crosses it to Brennan Johnson, who up to this point was kind of having a stinker. Puts it into the back of the net. But immediately offsides flag goes up. We go to VAR almost immediately after, and it was quite clear this ball was onside. Doesn't take a quick look. Goal is given. Tottenham have a shocking, I would say, 1-0 lead 37 minutes into this game. And with the way Johnson was playing, the joke was online, he's having a stinker up to this point, which only means he's going to score right before the half, and Tottenham are going to be 1-0 up. I don't know if you consider the 35th minute right before half. Close enough. 1-0 lead to Tottenham. We'll just say over the half-hour mark into this game. And what a strike it was. I mean, to the far top corner, it was a beautiful strike. I know it took a little bit of a tap off of Trafford, who is, trying to make a diving save there. It doesn't matter. All counts the same. 1-0 to Tottenham, just 35 minutes into this match. We move on, and, after the first goal, you're like, is Tottenham going to start to sit back here? Wasn't sure. Free kick, or it was goal kick opportunity for City in the second minute of stoppage time. I don't even know how to truly break this down. There was a breakdown on the Man City back line. Richarlison gets it right at the penalty spot, basically. Who's trying to beat Trafford, who's, flailing on the ground trying to save it. He gets it out to Joao Palhinha, and he just strikes that thing right into the back of the net. And we aren't even at halftime yet, and Tottenham have a 2-0 advantage. Hard to believe. Like I said, it was an absolute breakdown on the back line. Richarlison was putting on pressure to Trafford, which forced a turnover, which forced it just to be a chaos in the box. Tottenham get it in the back of the net with the Palhinha screamer. It is 2-0 to Tottenham. We would take that lead into the halftime break. I didn't expect to be up 1-0 going into the half, let alone 2-0. When Palhinha put that ball into the back of the net, he was having an outstanding game up to that point. It really was like, okay, Palhinha might be very good. We'll obviously see where it goes throughout the season. I have a feeling that, option to buy for 30 million euros around there, it's going to be triggered quite quickly because he is an absolutely incredible talent. Second half was truly a very defensive half from Tottenham Hotspur. There was almost a miscommunication on the back line in the 53rd minute, kind of similar to what happened to City, which is quite funny. But, it was Palhinha kind of fouled in the box, ends up bringing that play back and none of it truly mattering. 56th minute, Tottenham, another good opportunity, obviously doesn't find the back of the net. Porro crosses it into the box, finds Richarlison, who kind of gets a header on it, but is being defended by Rico Lewis. Ends up just getting into Trafford's hands. Stays 2-0. But like I said, the defensive performance has just continued here. 76th minute, there was a header from Rodrigo. Great stop there by Vicario. Kind of was right at him, but nice, solidified, locked it down. 79th minute, another defensive stop. Mickey van de Ven, just doing Mickey van de Ven things. An absolutely incredible diving, sliding stop to keep this at 2-0. Vicario makes another insane save in the 83rd minute to knock I believe it was a Bernardo Silva shot. And at this point, we're in the 83rd minute. Obviously, I know we can't count out Tottenham to blow this game, but it started to feel like things were going to smooth out. 87th minute, Bergvall on the attack goes into the box, crushed it to Odebert, who almost puts him in back of the net for a third, and it just misses that near post. And that was really the last big attacking moment of the game, as Tottenham would lock down the 4 minutes of stoppage time and would claim the 3 points this afternoon at the Etihad with a 2-0 victory. And of course, for Tottenham Hotspur, that's another win against Pep Guardiola. Since he has taken over at Manchester City, Pep Guardiola has lost to Mauricio Pochettino, Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, Christian Stellini, Ange Postecoglou, Ryan Mason, and the only one he has beaten, he's beaten other ones, but the only manager that has failed to win for Tottenham was, of course, Ryan Mason. As mentioned earlier, his only match was the Carabao Cup final. And whatever you want to say about that disaster is what it is. So Tottenham Hotspur, as of recording, sit top of the table. It's 2 match weeks in and they're on 6 points. Of course you're going to sit top of the table. Let's take a look at the player ratings for this match. Third different formation from Thomas Frank in his third professional match in charge of Tottenham Hotspur. A 4-2-3-1 today. Obviously, we saw the 4-3-3 last week against Burnley, against PSG in the Super Cup. You saw a 3-5-2-1 or 3. It was a mixture of things you saw under that one. So let's start at the top. It was Richarlison. He got an assist today on that Brendan Johnson goal that was originally called back for offsides. Obviously, ends up being a goal. A good game from Richarlison today. He had that header opportunity like I mentioned. Got subbed off in the 78th minute. Gave him a 7-5 for the day. I thought that was pretty good. Brendan Johnson again, ole. Goal, as mentioned. Got a yellow card. 7-8 for the day. Like I said, he was kind of throwing up a stinker before the goal. He may be the best, worst player on the field. Because he finds those moments. He's very good in those moments when you need a goal like that. He always seems to be there. Johnson again, ole. Popsar in that somewhat 10 position that Tottenham dearly need. 7-1 for the day. He had a very good match. Obviously, I just don't think he's playing in the position he's used to playing. Obviously, he can develop possibly into that position, and I'm sure that's what Daniel Levy wants, so he doesn't have to spend more money, because heaven forbid we spend money on quality talent. Popsar, 7-1 for the day. Mohamed Kudus, what a man. He is changing lives at Tottenham Hotspur. He's an outstanding player. Thankfully, he is not playing in that absolute disaster class that is the West Ham squad right now. That Graham Potter might get sacked even before the international break. That is an absolute disaster right now there for the Hammers. But Kudus has been saved. What an absolute stunning player he is. I really don't have the words to put into the kind of performances he's putting in. He's a player Tottenham dearly lacked for years. And obviously just hoping injuries don't affect the squad, because they're not going to have the depth. And you can't replace Kudus easily. So, very good performance from him today. Gets a 7-7. Rodrigo Bentancur, who is seemingly becoming a very influential player for Thomas Frank. Gets the start in that defensive midfield type role today. Gets a 7-1. I thought he did halfway decent today. There were a few moments I had a little bit of question, but thought he did good. Joao Palhinha, the loanee from Bayern Munich, gets the man of the match today. Had that second goal, 8.3 I should say, as my rating for him. He seems to be an incredible talent. There is no way around it. Seems to be incredible. I know people keep saying, we've only brought in Kudus this summer because it's the only player we paid for. I know Koto Takai also paid for him, but he's injured with plantar fasciitis, I believe. Palhinha on loan might be a steal. With the way he's been playing, he might be a steal for Tottenham Hotspur. And it might be very easy to trigger that buy clause at the end of the season if he keeps playing like this, because he seems to be playing absolutely incredible under Thomas Frank's system right now. We go to the back line. It's the only thing that stayed consistent from last week is that back four. Jed Spence on the left, Van de Ven and Romero as your center backs in the middle, and Porro on the right. Spence gets a 7-4, another lockdown day for my left back. What a performance, 7-4. Mickey Van de Ven also gets a 7-4. I thought he did really well today. The Van de Ven-Romero partnership is truly one of possibly the greatest of all time that we've seen at Tottenham. What a performance these two put up today. Christian Romero, 7-5. He had shown a yellow card that he very much did not deserve to get. But that's just kind of what the refs were doing today. So, can't really say much more. Because the reffing today was an absolute disaster. Honestly, that was just an absolutely horrific watch. It was so bad. Pedro Porro, 7-4. Thought he did pretty decent today. And Vicario on the back line, of course, as the goalkeeper. 8.1 today. Another outstanding performance. As mentioned, he had a few very good saves in this match to lock down that Manchester City attack today. We look at our subs. Solanke and Odebert came on in the 78th minute for Richarlison and Brennan Johnson. Solanke gets a 6-5, Odebert a 6-7. Both had goal-scoring opportunities within the last 10 minutes. Just couldn't convert on that. Lucas Bergevall gets a 6-3. He came on in the 86th minute for Kudus. Again, score really shouldn't have been given here, but here we are in Donzo. Same kind of situation here. Tottenham kind of flipped to a back five, basically for stoppage time only. It was what it was. Obviously, Tottenham get the clean sheet for today. So for Tottenham Hotspur, like I said, that is 2 wins out of 2. And if we look ahead now, the next match, we'll get to the next match in a second. Thursday, a very important day for Tottenham Hotspur. This is going to be the Champions League phase draw. That is on Thursday. That's going to, here in the U.S. Eastern Standard Time Zone, that's going to be right around, they're going to say it starts at 12. It's not. It's going to start at 12:30 or 12:40. I already know this. I mean, let's be honest here. UEFA never runs on time for the Champions League because they're doing a bunch of awards during it. It's a mess. Just plan for 12:30, but expect 12:40. Of course, the formula for Champions League this year going to look basically identical to last year with the Europa League. You are going to be drawing 8 teams. You're going to get 2 from each pot. There are going to be 4 pots, obviously. Pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, pot 4. 4 home games, 4 away games. You're not playing the same team twice. And again, it's the exact same format as the Europa League was last year, which is a format Tottenham fans, of course, should be very used to. But for truly the next match, it will be next Saturday at home, the last one before an international break already. Yay! Tottenham will host Bournemouth on Saturday. Should be an intriguing watch. And of course, basically right after that Bournemouth game, you've got 2 days to figure it out because the transfer window closes on Monday. So could be a very busy week for Tottenham Hotspur. Could be a absolutely dead silent week for Tottenham Hotspur. Let's be honest, probably going to be silent because why should we spend money? Maybe because we're a good club and need depth. I don't know. Maybe we should get new ownership. I don't know. So that is going to wrap it up for this edition of Top of the Perch with Tottenham winning 2-0 away at Man City. So thank you so much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it and want more content like this. We'll be back for sure on Thursday with a Champions League somewhat preview after the group stage draw, figure out everything that happened there. Maybe we get a signing. I don't know. Maybe I'll be forced into recording at some point earlier this week. Doubtful, knowing Tottenham Hotspur. And then, of course, we will be back on Saturday to recap that Bournemouth game. So I am very excited to see you again very soon. So thank you so much for watching. We will see you again soon for another episode of Top of the Perch.